and whatever I can share it to, because this is an impromptu right here, not rehearsed or anything else. And I want to talk about some grown children. That's some things that's really going on. So let me share it to the Facebook to see if I can get some people to come. Now I'm back. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you come on, if you don't, this is an impromptu. It's not planned for today. Like I said, my lives are gonna be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But it's some things that I want to discuss. And I want to discuss them because I have grown children. I don't know how many of you out there have grown children, but do you have children that go through things in life that you, as a parent, try to prevent? Try to not have them to even recognize some of the things that you've been through in life, moved away, divorced the spouse, and things like that. Do you have grown children that you make sure from a baby state that you try to protect from some of the things that happen in your life? These are some areas that I want to talk about right now. I have grown children, and one in particular, and I'm gonna talk about my first husband because I really want you guys to really understand what's taking place. And I have five grown children right now. And when I got married at 18, I married a person that was very abusive physically. But when I got pregnant and he was still physically abusive, I said, no, I can't do this. I stayed married for 3 years, and I moved my family and my children out of that relationship. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't even put them on child support. It was something because of instinct of a mother, and I don't want to be biased because some fathers do the same thing, want to protect their children. Now, these children are grown and they want to get to know their biological father, which is fine with me. I didn't give them the background of the relationship. Now, I'm talking about being inherited but not identified because I didn't want them to identify with abuse. I didn't want them to see the abuse growing up. I didn't want those things going on in their life. What happened is because they went back and wanted, there go that same cycle again, and wanted to get to know their father, they got into that cycle of identifying with the abuse. But who are they blaming? They're blaming you as the parent that moved them out of that environment. It's your fault that I got a spouse that beat me. It's your fault that I got a spouse that drinks alcohol and become abusive. It's your fault. I don't know how many of you got grown children that do that to you. I don't know how many of you that got grown children that blames you because you try to protect them, and they now identify with what you pulled them out of, and that is your fault because it was in their bloodline because they went back and identified with it. You didn't want them to identify with it. That's why you moved them. I don't know. And now when they call you, it's your fault. It's your fault because you beat me down. It's your fault because you had that relationship. It's your fault that he's my father. I moved you because I wanted you protected. I was young when I got married. But what are you supposed to tell them? Do you supposed to burn your energy? My question. Do you supposed to burn your energy and defend yourself and say, that's why I moved you out of that environment? Do you supposed to tell them, well, leave the spouse that's doing it to you? You don't have to do it. See, because if you notice in my topics, and I'm glad some of you are here, we went up, we went down, it don't matter. People can still go back and review this video because I need them to. I need them to. What are you supposed to tell them? Leave your spouse for, because so when they go home, my mama told me to leave you. The one that didn't want me to be in that relationship from the beginning. The one that brought me out of the cycle of abuse from the beginning. What are you supposed to tell these grown children that now blamed you? That's why I call it impromptu, because they're dealing with the drinking and abuse and the feet being broke. A lot of things is going on. The same things you've been through at an early age, they're dealing with it in the late 20s. How are you supposed to handle these things as a woman of Christ or a man of Christ? How are you supposed to deal with these things? This is heritage, but not identified. Remember, that's my series this month. How are you supposed to deal with that energy and talk to these people that you was protecting from the beginning from infant state, not even speaking about it, but they wanted to go back in the cycle that you didn't want them to get identified with in their spirit because you know how the enemy is. and they go find someone just like their father. They're going to find the same man that you left to protect them from to be in their life. The same thing that their biological father done, they find the same person. From the ones that cheated, from the ones that beat, from the ones that drink, from the ones that put you in the hospital, from the same thing that you try to protect them. What do you say to these children? Because they already blame you anyway. You did it, you did it, you did it. And then when you don't respond, this is what they say, you don't care about me anyway. You heard me from me, and you don't care. How do you respond, man or woman of God? How do you respond? What do you do in these type of situations? My question is, how do you respond? And then, because I'm going to tell you this, my mom and dad at the beginning told me not to marry. No, don't do it. Don't do it. But me, because I feel that I'm grown at 18, but this is a big deal because I want you guys to understand. There's nothing new under the sun. You got to read between the lines when it comes to scriptures. There's nothing new here. You got to learn how to get the wisdom and the wisdom out of the scriptures to help you shape and how to respond. There's always a spiritual undertone to what goes on. You, as the parent, knew that these things were going to take place. You knew. But how do you respond? Do you tell them to leave them? Do you tell them, hey, that's why I brought you out of that situation? What do you do? Do you accept everything that they tell you and blame you? And then go back and say, I didn't say that. I didn't mean that. Tell me how you respond to these things. I'm going to tell you this. And I'm going to tell you how I responded because I don't want to keep you. I said, listen, I'm the fourth generation in ministry. And the enemy knows who I am. Just like he know me, he know who you are in the blood lineage that you're tied to. And he know you got a praying mother and a praying grandmother, and you had a praying great-grandmother. He knows who you are. And I'm telling you this for you and your children. See, because the enemy is out here to take our children out of this world. He's out here to destroy your family and destroy you and stop you in your tracks off your assignment. That's what the enemy job is. That's what his job is. I want to lean in to let you know that's what his job is. If you don't got grown children, they are going to get grown one day. They're going to be there. And I want you to understand, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the enemy that's calling and blaming you. It's the enemy that's calling you to get you off your guard and off your assignment. This is impromptu on purpose. It's the enemy that's calling you, feeding you on what is being said because they want you to defend your right and your stance to tell them something that in the same house they're going to go back to. The only thing I can say is, you know the lineage that you're in. It's time to deal with this in the spirit. It's time now for you to start praying over your family. If you want to be in that marriage, you got to pray and break up that Leviathan spirit, that drinking spirit. You got to pray because the house is already anointed because we came and we did it together. It's now time for you to take a stand against the spirit that's running rampant in your house. You cannot fight it with your physical. I didn't know at 18. I should have known because I had a praying mother. But see, I never seen my dad hit my mom, so I couldn't stay in a relationship like that. He did other things, but that's not for me to tell right now. But so I left the marriage. But my mom never told me to leave. They already told me not to marry, so I did it. So it had to be my choice and my decision. I had to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. But I knew where my help came from. I had to understand at that moment, at the age of 21, because it didn't take me long. It took me 3 years, the fourth year. Let me tell you how amazing God is. See, because sometimes we don't even understand in our own life, if you go all the way back, same God back then, same God right now. He has not changed because you don't believe in him. It's the same God. That's the very same God. The same day I got married, it's the same day my divorce was final 4 years later, and I left him in 3. That's the very same day I fell in that ditch. It's the very same day God uplifted me and brought me out. That's what I call it, the ditch. I was in the mud puddle. Just like the prodigal son left the family and went and lived, inherited but not identified. You want things so fast, you want them your way when you're young, but you don't really understand you swindling away certain things. If I'm fourth generation, she got to be fifth. You see how that works? So in your bloodline, every morning, I don't care if it's feel like repetition, tradition, or whatever, it's time to pray. It's time now to deal with the spiritual undertone. You can't throw gas on the fire in the natural and feel that the enemy, no, because the enemy gonna still come after you. You got to learn how to pray and deal with it in the spirit. Deal with this thing in the spiritual realm. Go in the spirit and deal with it in the spirit. That's what you do. And I had to speak that in her life. You got to deal with this in prayer because you're not wrestling against your spouse. I know you hear your spouse talking, but it's not him, it's the enemy. He's saying everything to trigger you, to get you off your stance, to deal with the spiritual undertone. Guys, everything that happened in your family is also happening in this world. Because the same thing you don't deal with your family is the same wall that's being built in the world. The same thing, Republican against Democrat, it's the same you against not the people, but against the spirit. The spirit of Antichrist ain't just one spirit. It operates through people to get you off your assignment. So that's my stance. I don't just got one grown person. I got many. 5 right now, I think 4. I'm going to say 4 grown people because I got 7 children. I got 3 of them still in the house, 13 and below. I got a 32-year-old, a 28-year-old, a 26-year-old going to be 27, and a 21-year-old. And I'm going to tell you this. Some of the things that I brought them out of that I did not want them to identify with because they could have inherited. But I didn't want that identity to go with them. I wanted them to identify with abundance, with true love. That's what I wanted them to identify with. How do you deal with the blame game? I know some of you had to go back to work, but this is an impromptu. You teach them. You teach them or you tell them to go right back to what they seen you do. Deal with it in the spirit. Put them under the Holy Ghost arrest. Take them through deliverance. And I'm going to tell you this. Some of the deliverance that people got to go through comes through fasting and praying. You remember in the Bible when the man came and Jesus said, Jesus, your disciples do not do what you do. And the disciples asked Jesus why we couldn't do it. He said, because the things I do come through fasting and praying. Some of the spirits you deal with have to be dealt with through fasting and praying. You don't have to go through or give them the advice to leave or anything else. God is not in the mess. He's in your response. He's speaking to you, but you cannot hear them clearly because you focus on the wrong thing. You focus on the disruption or the distraction. You focus on the abuse or the drinking. You focus on that and not focus on God. Put your eyes back on the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Put your eyes on, I refuse to deal with this. This is not what I inherited. If I did inherit it, I don't want to be identified with it. I'm a disruptor of this. And I'm going to disrupt you right now. Do not give your children advice on their marriage because they're going to blame you anyway. You give them advice of the Most High King. You give them advice to handle it in prayer. You give them advice to take a look in the mirror. You know what to do. Mine's blame me, but it's okay. You were built for this, is what they tell me. Am I really? No, I'm not built for it, but the God in me is. So I wanted to share the same thing with you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Listen, I'm building my platform on YouTube if you was up here with me. Go to my YouTube channel and know when I'm going to do Impromptu. I'm live on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6:30 EST. Why am I telling you that? Because I want you to join me. We'll talk about inherited but not identified. Some of the things I do want you to identify with. The abundance, being an overcomer, being a victor, being a disruptor in your family. Because we identify with so much other things that we should not identify with, like poverty, survival, and some of the things I know I didn't say that came from their environment, but I can take the blame because I'm still going to tell you to fall back on your knees. I know it didn't come from me because I know who God is in my life. So family, friends, women, men of God, we are still human. And I apologize for it. I apologize if I didn't share this with you. But it's time to get on your knees. It's time to take a stand against this. It's time to deal with it in the spirit. Everything in this world got a spiritual undertone, but you got to know it. So with that being said, I will talk to you soon.